Hey, everybody. This is chapter 4 of our new unit, the biosphere. Okay. We've talked about all the other elements. We've talked about the atmosphere in chapter 3, the geosphere, and the hydrosphere in the previous ones. This one is going to be just a little bit different because bio, we know, stands for life. We did that in Greek and Latin this year. So we know has to do something with something living on this one. So let's go ahead and dive right into it on this and talk about chapter 4 here and get going. Okay, so I'm going to start right here. I'm going to read this little bit right there for us on this page. Millions of species of living things are found in environments all over the world. They look and behave differently, but they all have one thing in common: they are alive. What makes a living thing alive is that they can respond to its environment and it can reproduce. This is true of every organism, no matter how simple or complex they may be. All living things on Earth form a system called the biosphere. Okay, so quick right there. All living things are part of this. All right, you, me, all everything. Okay, so even says right here, you and all other humans. Okay, zombies, I'm not sure. We're not going to deal with that one. Okay, but all living things, biosphere. Organisms in the biosphere interact with each other. They also interact with the non living things of the environment, including sunlight, air, minerals, and water. A lot of those other spheres that we talked about. Living organisms use energy sources from their environments to support the processes that keep them alive. These life processes occur over a limited time span. Lifespans of different kinds of organisms vary, but all organisms eventually die. It's going to have a Debbie Downer one, but we're going on. Okay. So over here, a couple of things to notice that I circled off for us on what is the biosphere, which is our big question on for us. Okay. So make sure we remember that one, that the biosphere is all living things on the planet. Okay. All composed of it. It even says right here, put a little star right there. Kind of a straw. We'll go with it. All right. So biosphere right there is on there, and bio means life, but we should be experts at that because we did that in Greek and Latin this year. Moving on. Okay, there is a couple things that we do in fifth grade is classification. So this section is called biodiversity and classification right here. So I'm going to go ahead and circle off these. Whoa, that looks terrible on there. Let's try that. Still not that good, but I'm okay with it. So, biodiversity for us in vocabulary means the variety of species on Earth or in any one environment on Earth. And then, species is a group of organisms of the same type that are capable of reproducing together. Okay, so making more of those. All right, getting back to my drawing. Life on Earth is incredibly varied. The word for the varied species is called biodiversity. Oh, there it is. A species is a group of organisms that share many traits and are capable of producing offspring that also share those traits. Earth supports millions of these species, lots of them actually. Okay, but there are different types of living things that are right here. Individuals such species exist as a tiny single cell. They are called which one unicellular. Individuals of other species are made up of billions of cells. Okay, kind of like Lego bricks for a building. You have tiny little bricks to make up one object. Okay, so I'm one of those. I'm a building. It's cool. These organisms have complex systems of structures to carry out their life processes. These ones are called multicellular. Okay, multicellular. Okay, a virus, unicellular. Okay, because there's one thing that makes it up. All right. Because there are so many kinds of living things, scientists have developed systems. Okay, this system is called taxonomy. Taxonomy organizes living things, and I'm gonna, forgot to underline that one. Don't yell at me. Taxonomy, and that's a terrible underline, organize living things by levels according on how similar they are to all the other ones that are kind of like it. The levels of organization are domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Every known organism on Earth is going to be classified in one of these ways. Let's take a look at how taxonomists classify the African lion. In taxonomy, names for different classifications are also based in Latin. So, On the next page, there's going to be a lot of interesting names. I'm not going to attempt at reading them because I really don't want to look dumb. But we'll go ahead and take a look at how they vary down on the scale. Okay. So again, taxonomy. There we go. All right. So we have the domain at the height, and I'm not even Yakara, whatever. At the highest level, living things are classified into three different domains: archaea, bacteria, and Yakara. Organisms with cells that have nucleus, including all plants and animals, are eukaryotes. Notice there is a lot in this area, okay? But then there's some things that are different here, okay? So we notice a couple of these went away. I noticed the mushroom and the flowering plant, they are gone, okay? Those kind of go with something else here. Notice our lion, still there. Organisms are classified into different kingdoms, including plants, fungi, bacteria, and animalia is a large kingdom. Okay, this kingdom is animalia. That's why the mushroom and the flowering plant got the boot. Okay, notice or lion still there. Now, going down to the next one, most of the animals in the phylum Chordata, sorry, they have a backbone. So the cricket, he gone. All those others have stayed, probably because they are a little bit braver. They've got a backbone, they've got a spine. So moving on. Oh, no, there's our lion. Good call. Now, Mammalia on the next one is going into class now. So now it's getting broken down a little bit more. All these animals are, well, if you can see the word on there, mammals, which means they give birth to live young, are warm-blooded, have hair, and they can also produce milk. Okay, so we know the bird, it got out, and the lizard, it got out. But our lion is still there. Boom shakalaka. Okay, now we have carnivora, which is now in the order of things. These ones are a little bit more similar. And then we have going down to the family and then the genus. Okay, so these are ones that can kind of mix together on the genus part because you can mix a lion and a tiger together, and that actually makes a liger, which is kind of weird, but they can make them. Ligers can't have other ligers though. That's kind of just how they work on there. So cheetah got tossed out. Carnivora, yeah. So pretty cool on there. And then the last one, or main species, right there in all of his glory. So yay, lion. Okay. Simba. All right. So this one we've kind of talked about in previous lessons. These are biomes. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one at all. So one thing that I want us to remember is what a biome is, okay? So let me go ahead and get that back on the drawing here. Going back to this part. A biome is a large region on Earth with a specific climate that is shared by a collection of species. Other factors besides climate influence life in the biome. They include a type of soil and the amount of water. Biomes can change. Places on Earth that were once warm and rainy can become hot and dry over time. Okay, so we talked about biomes and ecosystems in our previous unit before, so I'm not going to spend too much time, but species do live in certain biomes and environments. That's kind of a duh. Okay, notice there are probably no polar bears wandering around in this area. Okay, it's very specific to a certain type. Okay, well, that we know that there are 6 major biomes. There is the tundra, the forest, the ocean, the freshwater, grassland, and the desert. Okay, so nothing too crazy on that one. We're going to kind of skip down now, okay, because we've covered this part right here, but by all means, go check a little bit of that out. All right. Now, continuous change and extinction. Extinction, we know, or extinct, we know means a species no longer exists on Earth. Okay. There are ways that animals and organisms can become extinct, which we're going to see right here. The species that are alive now on Earth are not the same ones that we've always had. When climate changes, patterns, biome location shifts, species in the ecosystem within those must respond. Some organisms cannot adapt to changes in these environments, and all the members of those species, well, they die. When an entire species dies off, it becomes extinct. However, some species gradually change over time, and this one's a key word, and they adapt to new conditions. New species arise in this way. Now, we know the word adapt right there, I have underlined. That's an extremely important word for us. Okay, so they are able to overcome certain things that happen in their locations, in their biomes, anything like that. They're able to thrive still. Okay, if they don't adapt. All right. So astonishing numbers of species have thrived and then throughout Earth's long existence become extinct. Many more are becoming extinct in recent years because human activities such as overhunting, poaching, changing climates, and habitat destruction. Okay, so that's a very real thing on here. So very sad, very lame. Okay, but not only biomes, it's a lot of us too. There are two, right down here, they're giving an example of a couple things. There are two colors of tawny owls. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I feel like I am saying it right, but two types of colors of tawny owls. Some have gray feathers and others have brown feathers. Lately, though, the gray owls are disappearing. Wonder why that is. Let's see. Scientists think that this may be caused by warming climate. With less snow on the ground, the gray owls may be easier for predators to see, and the brown owls are harder to see. Makes sense. They're being able to adapt to it. The brown ones are obviously going to be a little bit harder in the trees, where the gray, not so much. So, an example of adapting. All right. So, that is our lesson on the biosphere from chapter 4. So, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great day.